Some disappointing news today for anyone who is a fan of Starcraft 2 and esports, such as myself, as South Korean authorities have indicted 10 people, including 2 top Starcraft 2 players, at the end of a second investigation into match fixing for esports in that country. Now, a report surfaced which was helpfully translated by Team Liquid and alleged that one of the biggest players in Starcraft 2, being Lifelong, otherwise known as Lee Seung-hun, apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly, I did my best, and basically he received 70 million South Korean won, it's about roughly $60,000. And this was basically paid to him so he would intentionally lose 2 matches in May of last year. And basically Bbyong, or Bbyong, was paid the equivalent of $26,000 to throw one in January of this year. And another former Starcraft pro by the name of Sun Enough John Mo was accused of being Life's benefactor and also profiting from the bets on the fixed match. There are also 6 others, and these are being characterised as people who made the payoffs, others who brokered the arrangements, and a third who bet on the inside information to win money, and these were also indicted. Now, an 11th person, who is described as a financial backer, is at large and is yet to be indicted at the time of recording. Now, as I said earlier, Life is one of the biggest names in StarCraft 2, so this is a huge blow. He is a 10-time tournament champion. He has won things like the Intel Extreme Masters, MLG, Blizzard Cup, and all sorts of other things. His winnings in 2015's Premier and Major Class tournaments were $110,000, about $50,000 more than he was allegedly paid to tank these 2 games. Now, this investigation actually began back in January following the apprehension of a broker connected to an earlier case from October, in which another 11 were indicted and 2 players from the same team, which is Prime, were handed lifetime bans by the Korean Esports Association, or as it's more commonly known, KESPA. In that case, Sun, or otherwise known as Enough, has already been convicted and was given a 2-year prison sentence and suspended for 3 years, so he has been involved with this type of thing before. Now, I will link the report in the description below, but it basically details how the fixes were arranged and paid off. Brokers reached out to pro gamers under the pretense of being fans and struck up a relationship, arranged meetings with financial backers for the purposes of fixing games. They then transmitted funds to the pros on the take, placed bets for the backers, and used multiple online betting sites to place multiple bets on the same match. Bets paid out roughly 1.3 to 1.5 times the original amount, and the largest individual bet was 1 million won, or about $87,000. So this is pretty huge. Life is, as I said, a pretty big player, as is Bbyong, and both of those were actually some favourite players of mine. So this is devastating, not only to the esports scene, but just because these 2 players who had been amazing for so long have now fallen to this. I mean, as I said, Life has made an insane amount of money just being really good at StarCraft 2. So I just wonder why he decided to do this when he doesn't really need that to make money. As I said, he's made about $110,000 last year from all of his winnings. But perhaps there's more to those winnings than we know. It's entirely possible that this is not good for esports or StarCraft 2 in general. Now, while this sucks to lose 2 big players in the form of Life and Bbyong, it is also good that they've caught a lot of the brokers and financial backers as well, as the gambling syndicates are the real cause of these problems. You know, if Life and Bbyong had never been approached in the first place by these types of people, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. So you kind of have to root out the cause to kind of stop this from happening to future players, but it does mean that this is probably the end of Life and Bbyong's career, unless they somehow get exonerated, which doesn't seem very likely, sadly. That is it for these 2 very big names in StarCraft 2 esports. So, sad times indeed, unfortunately. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.